Welcome. Each week I look through the reports in the literature about interesting weather events around the world. And this video is a summary of those events for the time period from the 27th of July to the 3rd of August 2019. On the 27th of July, two magnitude 5 earthquakes hit northern Indonesia. There were 8 dead and 60 injured. One is still missing. In China, the brutal heat wave continues. Temperatures in some parts of China were over 40 degrees centigrade, with nighttime temperatures still at a very high level of 30 degrees centigrade. Areas from Beijing to the south of the Yangtze River are the areas that have been most affected. India is still having trouble with the monsoon rains. Here, a train was stuck for 9 hours due to flooded tracks. They had to call in the Indian Navy to help with the rescue, and they evacuated something like 700 people from the train. On the 28th of July, the temperature of Lake Michigan plunged a full 20 degrees in a 24-hour period. But this was only along the western shore of the lake, and this was due to very strong offshore winds bringing up cold water from the depths of the lake. On the 28th of July, we registered another tornado in Minnesota. It brought down trees and power lines and damaged a few outbuildings, but no major injuries were registered. On average, we get about 1,200 tornadoes per year in the US. So far this year, as of the 31st of July, we've had 1,356 tornadoes. So we are running well above average in terms of the number of tornadoes that we've seen so far. The United Kingdom was hit with more heavy thunderstorms over the weekend, produced major flooding in Wales and northern England. Trains and buses were delayed, and according to the forecast, there'll be more on the way. There has been a population explosion of green iguanas in Florida, caused by the much warmer weather there. The Florida government has issued a statement saying kill them whenever possible. However, they've since backed down on that, fearing a Wild West situation they're developing where it could endanger other people and also other forms of wildlife. Gulf Coast and Florida seem to be going through the wars recently. We now have flesh-eating bacteria in the waters that are thriving as the waters warm up. Note this is different from the green algae blooms that I've been talking about before. There have been 6 infections of this particular bacteria recorded so far in the Gulf states, and 3 of them have resulted in fatalities. New wildfires are flaring up in the west. There are wildfires reported in both Washington and Oregon, mainly due to drought and high temperatures. Many homes have been evacuated, and 9 firefighters were injured in one incident earlier this week. While the western United States burns, so does eastern Russia. In Siberia, the military has been sent in to fight the forest fires that are going on there. It's been caused by high temperatures and dry lightning. They've so far deployed 10 planes, 10 helicopters, and 2,700 firefighters to fight multiple fires throughout the region. On the 31st of July, there was a landslide in Norway. It left 1 dead and there are several missing. 150 people had to be evacuated as several houses and roads were destroyed. Heavy rainstorms hit the eastern part of the United States, an area from North Carolina all the way up into the New England area. There were water rescues for motorists in North Carolina, airport delays of up to 5 hours. There were trees down everywhere and it left thousands without power. The 1st of August generally marks the beginning of the hurricane season, and already it's quite busy. In the Pacific there are 2 storms. Hurricane Eric, which was a Category 3 on the 1st of August, which looks as though it's going to pass south of Hawaii. Tropical Storm Flossie, though a much weaker storm, may make a more direct impact on Hawaii. In the Atlantic there are 2 storms which are called invest areas that are worth watching and are likely to develop either over the weekend or into early next week. Heavy rains in the UK over the last couple of weeks have led to this reservoir becoming full and starting to erode away this dam. This is in the Peak District in the UK. a place called Wiley Bridge, and the earthen dam is on the verge of collapse. The village below it has been evacuated, and looking at this picture I can't think why anybody would build their houses where they seem to be showing here. And the UK authorities are using helicopters to drop sandbags in to help shore up the dam. There seems to be a truth drought in Australia, particularly where it comes to global warming. A study of Australian media shows a reporting bias. Whereas most climate scientists in Australia link these unusual conditions to anthropogenic global warming, only about 1 in 20 media articles mentions the possible links between abnormal weather conditions and global warming in that part of the world. I assume this has something to do with Murdoch. There was a strong earthquake on the 2nd of August. It was a 6.9 rated earthquake off the coast of Indonesia. It was 43 kilometers under the ocean floor off the southeast coast of Sumatra, prompting the tsunami warnings. However, there were no reports of injuries or major damage as a result of the earthquake. There was another deadly landslide, but this time in Southern California. It killed 3 and injured 2 others. Heavy rains throughout the central part of the United States has led to persistent flooding throughout the Midwest. But some places like the Mississippi Delta have had it particularly bad. Some 250,000 acres of farmland have been continuously flooded for the last 5 months. This puts tremendous financial harm on the farmers in the area, and many of the farms are in danger of going bankrupt. Do we live in a warming or a cooling world? Well, these statistics show that in fact we're still living in a warming world. If you take the daily high and low temperatures and compare with one another at various stations, you find that the high temperatures are outpacing the low temperatures by a ratio of 2.5 to 1. It's even more extreme if you take monthly highs, which are outpacing the lows by 6.4 to 1, and all-time highs 123 to 2. That's a ratio of 61 to 1. Absolutely amazingly lopsided statistics. July of 2019 set a very sobering world record. It was the hottest July on record, despite the fact that we don't have a strong El Nino ongoing at the moment. It was also the hottest month on record of any month. That makes it the hottest month in 2,035 months when you take into account when the modern record started. It could be the hottest month in 670 years when you take the Little Ice Age into account, which ended about the time when our modern thermometer record started. It could even be possibly the hottest month in the last 130,000 years if it exceeded the climatic optimum about 6,000 or 7,000 years ago, which seems likely. Well, that's all the weather news for this week. If you enjoyed this, please pass this on to your friends and family. So until next time, stay safe. Bye for now.